Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another segment of the Masterclass Marathon. We're here on a Sunday, and we have our speakers that are coming in. So we're super excited to share information with you tonight. Things that you need to know, and sometimes things that you didn't even know you actually needed to know. So let's get the party started. I see the speakers coming in. I love doing the Masterclass Marathon because we get a chance to share things that we know and things that we do with all of you. So get it. Thank you, Jonathan. Yes. So I'm letting the natural hair out today, guys. Okay. So it's us under there, and the shrinkage is real. Okay, guys. Isn't it crazy how like it goes from here all the way up to and it's still going? Okay. Anyway, hi, Robin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Can you
Yes.
hear me? 'Cause I feel like I'm talking real loud. I guess I'm not.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can. All right, we have another speaker coming in, so I'm just waiting for her to join, and then we will definitely get started. Oh, you know what? Let's just roll because she may have a little bit of an issue tonight. All right. Well, listen, let me tell everyone what we are doing, where we are, and all that is happening. Hello, everyone. You guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon, where we come here on Saturdays at 12 and Sundays at 7. And what we do is we just share information with you. We are all entrepreneurs who have something to share. We have something that we want to teach you about our businesses, or we want to let you know how to do something, let you know how to connect with us all at the same time. So when we're normally on live by ourselves, we are like alone, right? We're alone. But when we do the marathon together, our audiences are coming in together, and we're just sharing, who is actually seeing us. So that's it, guys. Let's get this party rolling. So, Robin, you have 13 minutes on the clock to share your message with us, and then I will give you 2 minutes for you to be able to tell us anything that you want us to know about you, as well as whatever you might have shared earlier. And if you have an offer, I want you to share what that is. All right.
Okay.
I am going to
So
mute myself out, and I'm excited. All right.
I
Let me get
am
your
too.
microphone.
All right. So my name is Robin Greer. I am an entrepreneur. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been a hairstylist for 30 years plus. I'm a nutrition coach. I'm an author. I'm a mother, of course. I am a runner. I am a powerlifter. So everything that I do revolves around health and wellness, which includes, of course, skin, hair, and body. My vision was always as a kid to create beauty in everyone. I wanted everybody to look pretty because when I was younger, I hated my hair. So I was able to manifest what I wanted in my life, and it's still manifesting. I believe that if you do something that you're scared to do, it normally works out because you're so scared to do it. So I've done so many things in my life to create revenue and to create, income for my son and for me. So I continue to grow and bloom. That is my brand. And I continue to create. So I stress in my young stylists, my young up and coming stylists to always have multiple streams of income. You don't have to just be a hairstylist and just stand behind the chair. You can do other things. So I wanted to create a product years ago, and I started out with my Bloom line over COVID. You will see that in a minute. But once COVID hit, I was able to sit down, take my time, and create without being overwhelmed behind a chair in a salon. So I used to run big salons for years. I've had owned 5 salons over the last 20 something years, and I always had a big staff. So now that it's just me, this has given me so much time to create and to take care of myself and my son. So I started to do everything I wanted to do. And this is where the Bloom brand came along. I started to wanted to do things that can help me grow. And the word bloom means so many different things to so many different people because bloom means to grow. Bloom is one of my, as I say all the time, just keep blooming, keep growing. It's not to sound cocky. Bloom literally means to continue to grow. It means to grow. I help other entrepreneurs over the years to grow their business, to grow them as an entrepreneur, them as a stylist. So when I train in my classes that I usually teach on Sunday and Mondays, I do cutting. I go to the schools, a school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If no one knows all about that, I do train at the school, a period and Westinghouse, and they also use my product at the school. So everything that I created throughout this time, right before COVID and over COVID, has definitely bloomed. And that is why when I say the word bloom, it makes me smile so much. And I just really love the fact that I'm able to continue to create and do it for myself. Meaning I want to do it for me, which helped me help other people. My clients have grown their hair. My clients have healed their skin. My clients have healed their inside and out. Everything that I make is created for the inside and out. Well, I have different products for inside and out, and of course for hair and skin. So that is my story with the Bloom brand. I am now in a small salon with another young woman who we vibe together. We sell products together. We create together. And that is why I tell the young women around me, just because you don't own the space that you're in, you own the chair that you're in. This chair that you're in makes you so much money, as much money as you want it to make. And you don't have to be the owner of a big, gigantic salon. You don't have to be the owner of having 12 styles working for you or barbers working for you. Or everything that I done in the past was it was created for that time. And now that I'm here, I'm able to really, really market who I am as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a creator, as an artist. So I want you to, I want to introduce some of my Bloom products to you guys. And I will turn the camera a little bit over here, let you see some of the products that I create. So number one thing, my shampoos, my conditioner. Everything is all natural, organic, made with very, very minimal ingredients. Conditioner, my rose water conditioner. This is my hair growth serum, my hair growth kit, which is my shampoo, my conditioner, and my serums for the scalp. I make beard oil for men, my main man beard oil. I make lash serum, Just Grow lash serum. I used to be a lash tech, and I've done extension, I've done all kind of lashes, but over the period in that time, I lost my lashes due to me overdoing them. So I ended up making my own lash serum over COVID, which was great. I make hair butters for men, for their locks, for their beards. Also, my skin lines I created over COVID. Again, people ask me to make something for them because they're breaking out under their mask. This is my Oh Hell Yeah Skin Foam Wash, my serum, and my toner. I make braid oils. This is my one of my braid oils. This is my favorite one, but I had another one, but I didn't like it. The smell wasn't like, it wasn't really doing anything for me. So this is my caffeine mask. This helps with healing the scalp, which is the same items and same thing that this item does. My serums. I have my energy shots made with guarana green tea. I make a lot of other body teas and oils, but I didn't have them all enough today to bring out because I kind of sold them all last weekend as I was vending. So I created what I had, my little list of my favorite things. I had my under eye patches. I make an under eye patch, an under eye pad, face mask under eye patch, which has the same ingredients as my toner. So everything that I make definitely is made to heal. My Bloom smoothie, which is my superfood powder, and it's also for energy. A lot of my clients want to lose weight. A lot of my clients work out, so this is a good product to take and make in a shake and take it before you work out or after you work out, or use it as a meal replacement throughout the day. One scoop takes you a long way. Also, my 2 books. Once I started to write, I enjoy things a little better. I started to write. I created the Bloom brand of my book. So this is my first book, Infected by Life. This is my second book, Blooming with Life. Infected by Life was written about 5 years ago. Blooming with Life came out about 2 months ago. well, 3 months ago in August. So I have been busy. I really, really enjoy doing everything that I do. Once again, is created around healing, life, and blooming. I definitely um, love showing. I love creating. I love vending. I love talking. So when I talk to my people that I meet during the shows that I've been, normally I tell them that I do all these different things and they don't understand how. But the Bloom Life is definitely a brand that I created. This is a lifestyle. It's not just a brand. It's a lifestyle. So the Bloom brand, the Bloom Life, Bloom products. I'm Robin Greer. I guess that's it right now. All I do know is continue to swim, continue to grow whatever passion you have, whatever ideas you have, manifest them, write them down. Don't give up. Don't think you can't do it. Things are tangible. Just because someone else did it does not mean you can't do it. You're the one that sells who you are. They are who they are. You are who you are. Continue to grow in your passion and in your mission behind the chair and in front of the chair, whatever you do as an artist, continue to grow and don't give up. Continue to bloom.
Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you so much.
Tomeka.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
I have there's more time on your clock, and I also
Okay.
have questions for you because I think there's so much more that you could definitely share with us. So you
Yes.
were a salon owner with more staff, and now it's you alone.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about how you got there, because I think there's some beauty in your story that you should definitely be sharing. How did you
Thank
get there? Do
you.
you like it, love it, hate it, whatever? And then I'd love for you to, I'm going to ask you another question after that.
Okay. So how I got to, well, how I got here was because I was the owner of so many big salons for so many years. And being the owner wasn't always so great. So I had to deal with and learn from other people. They learned from me. I learned from them. And I think once when I lost my son in 2005, and when he was murdered, he was 18 years old. His name was Trevor. I had to sit back down for a little while. So I sat back down for a few years, and I recreated who I was because those are the things that knocked me down. So losing my son knocked me down, which helped me to also write my first book. I'm sorry, I should have said that, but I was trying to get everything out. Losing my son to the streets helped me to also write, to also change my mind frame and to shift with some things I wanted to do in life. So when I got here, being in a small space by myself, this is the beauty behind it. It has made me work harder for myself and not for others. If that answers your question, or if that gives more to my story.
Ooh, thank you for sharing that. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
sharing that so much. I have a similar story to you, not the the death of a child, but the losing a child to the streets. That is a real thing, and it's like as a mother, especially as a stylist and working hard, knowing that you're working hard, long hours. It's like, oh man, what did I do? But at the end of the day, what did you do? You were a mother.
I was a mother. Yeah.
You was a mother. You did what you had to do, and and things turned out the way they turned out. And so I think it's beautiful that you're able to share that story. So you wrote the book after all of that. And then the
Yeah.
second book, was it sort of a spinoff of the first book?
The second book is a spinoff of my first book, but the second book is I wrote this happy. I wrote my first book really sad. I wrote it sad into happy. I wrote about my suicidal thought. Well, planning to commit suicide for 2 years. Didn't know how I was going to do it, and I planned it, but then I never did it because I had to take care of my son who was 2 years old. I had a 2-year-old son who is now 17, and he's amazing. So God let me know you need to live. I need you here, and you got to continue. You got to continue in a different way. So he picked me up, set me, cleaned me off a little bit, got me together because I was suicidal. So that's what started my writing and started me on a different mission. So yes, there's a lot behind the story. Just be getting here to this place where I love to come to because it's just me and another stylist, and it's amazing. So
Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. All right. So a lot of things happened. You wrote these books. Where did these products really come from? I know there was COVID, and a lot happened for me during COVID too. So I know there's more in the story. So COVID products, why did you
COVID.
really make them? And then like, when did you really start, and what really pushed you?
Okay, so I really made them because I wanted to do products years ago. And once I became a nutrition coach, I was able to understand and I learned herbs and minerals and oils and what with what and how I eat and what goes into your hair. We are what you eat. But that was my mission right there, to change the hair path of my and the growth of my clients' hair with alopecia, with hormonal changes. I wanted to grow my clients' hair. I was tired of them getting certain types of blowouts, which is the Brazilian blowout, or like formaldehyde, or hair was hard. I was tired of hair falling out. So I needed to create something, and that's where the products came from. I wanted to create my own line. I was tired of getting other people rich, and I wanted to, be my own consumer, and also share real products and real herbs and raw goods with people on their hair and their scalp, their face, everything, and their bodies. Everything came out of that. Like it really came out of and to help to heal people, because I am a healer. I'm vegan. I eat right. I put it into my body, what should come out of my body, and that's the passion behind it. Wanting everyone to feel beautiful inside and out. That's the real
Oh,
passion.
wow. Oh my gosh, Robin, we have so much in common. I'm not fully vegan. I'm close to it. I just don't eat meat. So I'm close to the vegan 100, I'm close.
Yeah,
Wow,
but
look at this.
I do eat fish. I'm going to say that.
I
Just I
do me
don't do
too.
the
I'm pescatarian.
right.
We are pescatarian. Okay,
Yeah,
yes, we
I
are.
just don't do chicken. No chicken and no anything else, and no dairy. That dairy has a hormone which is it tears up our body, our skin. 3 years ago, my skin was broke all out from eating milk or whatever cheese, whatever was in. There's so much cheese and there's so many milk products in everything. You'd be so surprised. I mean, it's amazing that we don't even know. And potato chips. So I read a lot and I study a lot, and and right now that's what I'm doing right now. Just finish real quick. I'm in pet grooming school right now. I forgot about that. I'm in school for pet grooming so that I can groom dogs and also make dog food and dog products. So yeah,
Oh,
I do.
wow. Okay, wow. So I'm just gonna say, is it fair to say that you always wanted to make your own product line, but it came at the right time? Like it came when you were you're now a nutritionist and you have a different type of information. I knew there was more in your story. I just, kind of need to pull it out.
Thank
So
you. Yep.
yes. Yeah, I knew it because when you said I wanted to do the product line a long time ago, and I just did it, and then you shared about your knowledge at this point. I think someone needs to hear. You may want to do something right now, but it might not be your time because
Yep.
there's something you don't know. And there's something that you don't even know you need to know until you learn it. And then you
Very true.
can do something else after that. I think that was, one of the things that we needed to make sure that we share with everyone tonight. So thank you for sharing your story with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Awesome. I just want to ask Mimi a question real quick and I'm gonna go back. Mimi, can you speak or you gotta go to the
I
thing?
can. I
Okay, all right.
can.
So in just a moment. All right. So Robin, I want to give you a chance to have 2 minutes on the clock to tell us how we can find the things that you have available. You have your books, you have your products, your services or whatever. 2 minutes on the clock. Tell us, what can we buy from you? Someone was asking about your
I'm gonna
book
make it
earlier.
fast. All right, so my products are www.hairskinbody.com. They're online. I'm getting a new host for my website, so right now you can inbox me on Instagram, Facebook, and I ship. My books are on Amazon under Robin Greer. I had to get a new host because they were keeping my money because they said I was selling nutraceutical products, which are healing products. I couldn't use the word heal, so I had to take all my products down and I had to redo it. So Bloom All Natural and Organic Hair, Skin, Body, www.bloomhairskinbody.com. That's a lot. But Robin Greer on Instagram, of course, Facebook, Robin Greer. I ship everywhere. Hawaii, I'm shipping everywhere. So wherever you are, I ship. My books are once again on Amazon under Robin Greer. and you can buy everything there, or inbox me and I'll ship it to you anywhere you want.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. Oh,
Thank
I messed
you.
that up. I messed that next one up. You said Bloom Hair Skin Body, right?
Bloom, hey, www.bloomhairskinbody.com. That's a lot.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, you can also
Yeah.
type it in the chat if you like, as well. I was trying to do it, but
Okay.
I'm now multitasking. So I'll,
I know,
all right.
bloomhairskinbody.com. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'll
Okay, please do. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing your story, your products, and how you got there,
thank
and
you.
the fact that you have all of these things available. And I'm sure that you just gave someone some hope tonight to know that you don't have to rush, that things do happen, and you can get through a lot of things. Sometimes you don't get over things, but you can do your best to get through them, and you persevere, and you're here, and you're happy out of all of those things. And I love that you shared there were suicidal thoughts, and now at this point you're here, and we welcome you to stay here. So no more, none of that. And thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you for having me. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, you can definitely hang out. Those of you who are watching, you're watching the Masterclass Marathon, you can give Robin a quick follow by clicking the arrow up at the top and following her at this time. And if you have a question or if you want to purchase, please send her a DM and get the conversation started. All right. We're now going to introduce our next guest tonight. Mimi Sheffer is coming in to speak. So Mimi, I'm going to give you your 13 minutes on the clock, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say this evening. Thank you so much for coming.
You're so welcome. It's great to be here with you. Is my volume okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Mimi Sheffer. I'm a social media coach for mompreneurs and entrepreneurs, and I talk about visibility strategies, branding strategies, and working that algorithm. I'm also a Facebook group and community manager and a challenge facilitator. So those are all the things that I do. But tonight I want to talk to you about one of my favorite topics. It's imposter syndrome. Because a lot of mompreneurs and entrepreneurs want to get online and start a business or are in a business and they are struggling feeling their worth. And so I want to talk to you tonight about imposter syndrome, what it is, and really just how to get over it, how to identify it, and really kind of purge it from your system. So imposter syndrome, there are 3 identified ways of getting it, 3 different kind of manifestations of it. And one of them is attributing your success to dumb luck. A lot of women really struggle with this. They'll say, oh, you won an award, for example. And you'll say, oh, I was just in the right place at the right time. Or, I don't know why they chose me. So you just kind of laugh off or excuse your success as though it was just a matter of circumstance and dumb luck. The second way is that you feel like you don't deserve it. Imposter syndrome, you feel like you don't deserve your accomplishments and successes. And the third way is perceived fraudulence. You feel like it is just a matter of time until people figure out that you are a fraud, that you don't know everything. So imposter syndrome is really when you start feeling like you are unworthy, you doubt your success, you doubt yourself, and you doubt your abilities. And there are a number of different types of imposter syndromes. There are 5 different types according to Dr. Valerie Young. And the type number 1 is called the expert. The expert does intense research in order to feel comfortable about a topic because they're going to be quizzed on it, because they are going to do a class or a course, or they're going to speak about something, and they really feel like they need to know every single thing about it before they partake in this event. And the problem with expert imposter syndrome is that you spend so much time doing your research, you don't leave enough time to do the presentation, to put all the bells and whistles on the presentation and really show up as your best self. So drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like you are an expert imposter, if that really resonates with who you are. Type number 2 is called the perfectionist. And the perfectionist feels intense anxiety and stress and worry because they set unattainable goals for themselves and then they fail to live up to them. And instead of celebrating the successes that they do have, they start thinking about the one or two little things that went wrong in their presentation, right? So they set these huge goals for themselves, they don't reach them, and then they hyper focus on one or two small things that went wrong, like a typo in a presentation or saying the wrong word. That alleviates all their feelings of success because they are only focused on the things that they did wrong. So that is the perfectionist. So drop a number 2 in the chat if you feel like a perfectionist resonates with you. The third type is called the natural genius. And the natural genius, God bless these people. They are the people who get things so quickly and easily. They master skills without seemingly having to work or study or, put in any effort whatsoever. And the problem with the natural genius is that when something is hard, they automatically discount themselves. It's too hard. They have to struggle. They have to try. And so they just stop trying. So drop a 3 in the chat if you feel like a natural genius is what kind of imposter syndrome you struggle with. Because I will tell you, I'm going to stop the types for just 1 second. Even the most successful people in the world struggle with imposter syndrome. Denzel Washington, one of my very favorite actors, has struggled with imposter syndrome. So I know that every single person out there has struggled with it at one point in time or another. Now, most people only struggle with it for a few days or weeks, right? Most people don't really get caught up in feeling like an imposter all the time. However, there is a pretty large percentage of people who feel like an imposter all the time. They have long periods of time where they really struggle with imposter syndrome. And a lot of them, you guys, are entrepreneurs. And that's because we are really in this solo pursuit, right? We are doing things that have never been done before. We are really conquering, forging new territory. And so we feel like we're never going to achieve, get to the finish line, or reach the level of success that we really want. And so it's important to identify that you are having imposter syndrome, that you're experiencing imposter syndrome, and really identify what kind of imposter syndrome you're struggling with. So then you can start to rationalize, you can start to overcome those circumstances and those situations that are making you feel that way. So we've talked about the expert, the perfectionist, and the natural genius. Now we're going to go on to the soloist. And this is really, really closely aligned with entrepreneurialism. The soloist feels like they have to do everything on their own. They are in this solo pursuit and they have to figure out all the paths and things on their own. And the problem with that is, if someone has a blueprint that can make your life easier, why on earth would you opt to do things on your own and try and figure things out from scratch? But the soloist feels like they have to prove their worth, and therefore they want to do every single thing on their own, and they don't ask for help, which can make their journey a lot longer and a lot rougher than it has to be. So drop a 4 in the chat if you feel like a soloist, a rugged individualist, somebody who just does things on their own. They figure it out on their own. They don't ask for help. And the last type number 5, is called the superhero. And the superhero feels like they have to achieve at all costs. They are the workaholics. And the problem with superheroes is they burn themselves out. They sacrifice their relationships, they sacrifice their health, they sacrifice their interests, their friends, their family in order to achieve. And then they experience severe burnout, right? You can't work all that time at such an intensity without taking breaks, without taking care of yourself. You have to balance those things: work, success, life, entrepreneurialism, families, friends, relationships, and self-care all have to be balanced. And so when you are a workaholic, a superhero, you feel like you have to achieve, you have to achieve, you have to achieve, and everything else is put on the back burner. But when you do that, you are going to, number 1, sacrifice people and things that you love. And number two, you're going to cause yourself to burn out. So let's talk about how imposter syndrome happens. It happens, believe it or not, there are some roots of imposter syndrome that take place in early childhood, like the perfect child or a sensitive child can easily develop imposter syndrome because a sensitive child always feels like they start to doubt their achievements and their successes, and a perfect child, kind of like the natural genius, everything is so easy for them. When it gets hard, they feel like they can't do it anymore. Okay, so those are a couple of reasons why it happens. Who gets it? Anyone can get it, and you can get it for a short period of time. But what's really important to note is that it hits high achieving women most frequently, which I think is really important. And here's something I want to reassure you. I want to make you feel a little bit better about imposter syndrome. If you have ever struggled with imposter syndrome, be assured that you are a high achieving person, because real imposters do not get imposter syndrome. They don't care. They don't care. They know they aren't a high achiever, and they don't care about being an imposter. So a real imposter is never going to feel imposter syndrome. It's only people who are really striving and forging new territory. It's only going to be high achieving people that ever struggle with this syndrome. So if you have felt imposter syndrome, if you're feeling it now, I just want to reassure you that that means you are a high achieving person. You're striving, and your struggle is going to be worth the journey, I promise. So just keep going, and you're going to get to the other side. So let's talk about what aggravates this condition. When people don't share their feelings, especially entrepreneurs, right? There's this gap between the success we want online and where we're actually living, right? So there's this gap between what we want people to see, that we're super successful, that things are clicking on all 8 cylinders and things are going really well for us, and where we actually are. We are still in that struggling and striving stage until we get to that success stage. So I want to just let you know that if you are struggling, you need to surround yourself with people who understand your journey. If you're an entrepreneur, please, please, please get some people around you who are also entrepreneurs, who are learning and growing and undergoing their own entrepreneurial journey, because those people can help you from spiraling. Imposter syndrome can be difficult to overcome, and a lot of those people feel like they cannot share their feelings because they want everyone to think that they are super successful. So get in a group, no matter what kind of person you are, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, if you are having imposter syndrome, get a support network around you. There are lots of groups online you can join, lots of Facebook groups you can join according to your interests, your hobbies, your profession. Just get a group of people around you that you can go to for support and for nurturing, because imposter syndrome does not have to overtake your life. And especially as we're going into the holidays, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of strain from family relationships, from, the busyness of the holiday season. And this is the time of year when people really struggle with feeling like they're the only ones who have this issue. And I think that's one of the dangers of being an entrepreneur, because you don't feel like anybody else struggles this way. So we don't share our feelings as entrepreneurs, and so the cycle continues to get worse and worse and worse. And so you can really spiral if you don't get support. So my first and best advice to you is get support. Get in a group of people who understand what you're going through and can support and nurture you through that phase. Entrepreneurialism definitely increases your chances of struggling with imposter syndrome, because entrepreneurs are often soloists, right? They are in an entrepreneurial and individualistic pursuit, and so they spend a lot of time alone. And when you're alone, you can get way up in your head, right? And worry and stress about things. Number 2, entrepreneurs are trying new things, new methods, and new systems and new business ideas. So that is definitely something. When you're trying something new, everything is hard before it gets easy, right? So that is one of the reasons entrepreneurs really struggle with imposter syndrome. Oh, I'm almost done.
Wow.
Number three, they learn important lessons through failure. Number four, they are always in sales mode. So you're always feeling like you're selling your vision either to yourself or to your network. And number five, they exist in that fake it till you make it space. So instead of fake it till you make it, I want you to shift your focus on believing it until you can see it, believing it until it manifests the way you want it to. So in this stressful time of year, I wanted to bring to you this quick presentation on imposter syndrome to help you if you are struggling. Entrepreneurs get it a lot, and it is easy to get over. Just remind yourself of your past successes and get a group of people around you, and you will emerge victorious from this struggle. All right, so that's my presentation. Thank you so much, Coach Tomeka. I'm sorry I went over a little bit.
Oh, it's so fine. No problem. And thank you. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
that you made it tonight. I know you had
Me too.
another event tonight as well.
Yes.
So thank
Sorry.
So, will you please spend 2 minutes giving us an opportunity to know how we can connect with you and what your
Absolutely.
offer is? What can people purchase from you tonight if they want to make a purchase with you? What is that?
Absolutely. And I think this is a great time for people to really get up to speed on imposter syndrome. I just did this presentation for a group, a Facebook group of 20,000 members. And the leader of that group thought it was such a great presentation and it was so important to put in the hands of entrepreneurs. She sent it out to her entire list of 60,000 plus people. So what I am doing, I am creating a presentation, a paid presentation. If you would like to get this imposter syndrome presentation, which includes several ways that you can pull yourself out of this and that you can stop the struggle and you can emerge from it with confidence, send me a DM that says class. Send me a DM that says class, and I'm going to be recording this tomorrow, and I will send it to you. It's going to be a super inexpensive price, but I think it's a really important topic for everyone to think about and view and really arm yourself with the tools as we roll into a new year, because it's a fresh chance, right, for each and every one of us to really achieve our dreams. And this is important information, especially for entrepreneurs. So I'm going to be selling this for a super inexpensive price. If you are interested, send me the DM word class, and I will make sure you get the link to purchase the course.
Awesome.
And
And you have some.
I should Yes, some other things. Sorry. I should say my handle is at Marketing with Mimi. Marketing with Mimi. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or TikTok. And on Clubhouse, my handle is Marketing Mimi. So at Marketing with Mimi pretty much everywhere except for Clubhouse, and it's Marketing Mimi on Clubhouse.
All right, awesome. Thank you so
Yep.
much. And
Thank
Mimi and
you.
I do a clubhouse room every Tuesday night, so you guys should
Mhm.
join us at 9:15. We do
Yep.
a clubhouse room. We speak about social media and social
Mhm.
media surrounding, especially being an entrepreneur and being a coach as well. So if you guys
Mhm.
want to join us, make sure that you meet us in Clubhouse on Tuesday nights at 9:15. Okay, if you follow
Eastern.
anyone at Eastern, yes, yeah, that's gotta say that because we don't know where you guys are watching from. Yes.
True, true. All right,
Yes.
Coach
Well,
Tamika,
thank
I
you.
will see you Tuesday night.
Okay, see you then. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mimi. So, all right, you guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon. We're here on Saturdays at 12 Eastern and Sundays at 7 Eastern. So, what we do is we give you information about our businesses, something that you may need to know that you know you should know, and something you might not even know you need to know. All right. Okay. Let me see. Can you guys mute your mics? I think I hear some feedback from someone's mic. Can both of you click on the screen and make sure that the mic is muted? Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll speak briefly tonight. I do want to tell you before I speak, if you would like to be a speaker here on the Masterclass Marathon to share some information with others, make sure that you click the link in the bio. First of all, click the link in the bio to follow the speakers. I'm sorry, click the link above to follow the speakers. But you can click the link in my bio if you want to be a speaker on the marathon by clicking on Masterclass Marathon Speaker. You also could go to masterclassmarathon.com to register yourself. And you can watch this here on my page at Tomeka James. And we are on episode 50 something, guys, doing this marathon. So we've been very consistent. So you can go back and watch the other master classes where we've been teaching you things for several months throughout this year. You also can watch this on YouTube, which is on Entrepreneur Speak with Tomeka James. That's my YouTube podcast channel. All right, I'm going to speak briefly tonight. I'm actually going to speak and spin off of some of the things that I heard tonight. I'm going to go first with something that Mimi was sharing about getting the blueprint. So I'm Coach Tomeka James, a former cosmetologist, and I am now currently a life and business coach. I decided to become a life and business coach because I did my time behind the chair. I was a licensed cosmetologist since '95, guys, but I started doing hair since I was 12. I started selling candy. I sold all sorts of things. So I was an entrepreneur. And then I started doing hair. I started creating techniques when I was about 13 or 14. I made up a few things that you guys didn't get to see because, you know, I made them up and then didn't think it was that serious to take it anywhere. And then later on down the line, when I actually got my license, I began to start dreaming about a lot of things because I wanted to create solutions. And then I started creating hair extension techniques, a few which I patented, okay? And because I was doing trade shows all the time and I was in front of the right audience, I utilized my my time and my space to create even more. I actually, guys, was scared and nervous to leave from behind my chair because I thought it was going to like damage my creativity. Well, guess what someone should hear? That was my time. I did my time. I did what I was supposed to do behind the chair. I created all the way to the end. I even made a few videos in the last year before I put my shears down. But guess what happened after I put the shears down? I became creative in a different way. Your creativity will not stop. And it's just the way it is. So you can try to plan your entire life out if you want to. Go for it. It's not going to work, because you can never see what's going to happen. Now, maybe someone like the Lord already knows what your path is going to be like, but we don't have a clue. So I just want to share with you, you have to live in the moment. You have to plan a little bit for the future, but fully understand that it's going to be what it is. And people will come, people will go, things will happen, things will change. You will start something that you think will last forever. You will do something that you think is going to be the thing that'll make you a millionaire, and it's not the thing. And then you will do something else and something will take off. You have no clue. But here's what you need to know. Soon as you get the feeling in the pit of your stomach that something has to change, it is time for you to make that move. So I was behind the chair and I got to what? Let me see. What was this year? It was in 2020 that I realized for real that it is now the time. COVID, you know, was not good for a lot of people, but COVID let me sit down and it let me really focus on where I was, what else I could possibly do. And it let me focus on getting it done. You have to sit still sometimes before you can move into something else. Sometimes you're looking so far at the past that you believe that that's all that you're meant to have and to do. When I was sitting still, I began to use technology like crazy, guys. I was in high school and I actually learned about technology, and I took computer programming. I took all the different types of computer classes. I took business classes and all of those things, which armed me with what I needed for today. So now at this point, I started during COVID, I said, I'm going to teach people how to use their technology because they don't know. I have this skill. I can't use the beauty skills. I'm going to use all of them. And I began to do all sorts of classes. I got on Zooms with people and I did segments with people. And I said, hey, what do you need to know that I know that you don't? And I start putting it out. If you have an email list, you can talk to the people on your list. If you are someone who utilizes your social media, and you can actually go live and you can say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing, who is interested? And that's exactly what I did. And I got the DMs back. I got the responses on the feed. I got people responding to my emails and I went for it. And guys, I made so much money during COVID. I probably should have made more money because I was actually being very humble. I understood what was going on in the world. So I was like, I don't really want to, you know, be the one that's charging all of this money and taking advantage of people. That's how I felt. So I did a lot of things for free. And then I came back in and snapped out of it and came to my senses. And I said, you can't keep doing everything for free, because you're going to be the one sitting there shaking with nothing to eat and nowhere to live. So I decided to do something, and I did a lot of things at low cost. And I made so much money during COVID that it was crazy. It helped me to understand that if I wanted to put the shares down and just do those things, that I could. So my message to you is you got to go for something, because you don't know what the thing is going to be. So fast forward, coming out of moving toward the end of COVID, and I don't even know if it's really over. I really don't know. But moving forward in the next year or so, I made this choice that I was sitting in my house and I no longer wanted to service clients. It was proven to me that I could do something else. Some of you need to prove something to yourself. If you think that you have to stay in a position that you're in, it's only because you can't see it, you don't believe it, and you don't know what's on the other side. But if you move at least a little bit, you get to see something. So I was able to prove to myself that I could do these other things. So I was coaching, and I will tell you guys what I coached and what I charged at that time. I will never, ever let that number come out of my lips. You will never hear it. I'm not going to tell you now. Nobody ever needs to hear what I was coaching and charging. But I knew what I needed to do. I needed to get my feet wet. I needed to do it full time. And even at the rate I was charging back then, it was fully supportive for me as well as the people I was helping. So I got to the point where I no longer could wing the coaching part, because I was a full-fledged entrepreneur and a cosmetologist. So I had to go and I had to pay someone. I had to get a coach that could teach me the things about coaching and just, the outside of my career, what I needed to know. So here I am. And I love who I am today. I decided to move. It was no need to stay in my house, guys. I was living in New Jersey. It was cold, and I went for a walk one day. If you want to know my epitome moment, I went for a walk, and I was always into exercising and taking care of my body. But when I went for that walk that day, it was October, and the chill came over my arm, and I got a little cold, and I said, you know what? This walking outside is about to be over. It's about to be over. You're going to have to go use the treadmill that's, in the basement, and you're not going to be able to come outside. It still was COVID. So there was no gym. There was none of these things. And I said, I don't want to do that. I said, you know what? I'm only working in the house. Might as well move. I said, as soon as I finish my trade show, I'm out of here. My trade show was about 3 weeks later from that moment. And when I did the trade show, the very next day, I booked a flight, guys, and I flew to Florida. But before I booked the flight, it wasn't just crazy. I said, let me call a few people, because I know people everywhere, okay? Who lives in Florida that could tell me the best part of Florida that I could live in? What I want to share right now is someone has information for you, but you didn't pick up the phone and you didn't connect to the person that has that information. I made 2 phone calls to 2 people that lived in Florida, and I got all the information I needed, and I made a choice to fly to a particular area. I landed, didn't have a car rental till I landed. I went to the desk and I got a car, and I drove around for 2.5 days until I found the place that would be where I would live. I secured it, and I went back to New Jersey. I packed up my stuff and I came back. And that's how I landed here. And I absolutely love it, okay? I love it. So, what do I want to share outside of my whole story? I didn't even put the timer on. I totally forgot. But I do want to share this. You guys have to get the blueprint from someone, which is one of the things that Mimi said. You have to get the blueprint. If someone already has information, they know something that you need to know. There was no reason for me to take any longer understanding the coaching arena. There were things I needed to know about setting up on the back end and becoming this coach. Now, those of you who want to do it, I can help you too, because I have the blueprint as well. What other blueprint do I have? I was a licensed cosmetologist since 95. And I learned how to get through the mess that I created for myself. I learned how to figure out how to get clients in my chair when I didn't have enough. I figured out how to run a salon Now, I didn't just figure that out, but I learned along the way. I took a lot of classes and I connected with a lot of great people. But this information that I have about running your salon and being a great stylist and utilizing your social media to show up, the information will never go away. Times will change slightly, but there are some key principles that we know about beauty, the beauty business, that just won't change. There are just things that you should do. And if you don't know what they are, you got to go to the person who knows. So guess what I spend my days doing? Helping you guys to take on and understand the blueprint. I help you to learn how to show up for yourself, how to decide on how you should show up, and how to be the person that you need to be behind that chair. I also help those of you who want to be on the same journey with me. I will help you run your business. But when you get to that point in time, I know what the pit of your stomach feels like when it's time for you to move and do something different. I understand what it's like when I was behind a chair and I knew I couldn't just do hair. So I help you with those things. You got to go to someone who has the information and has been through the thing, has been through the pain, has had the success as well to get your answers. You can't keep doing it by yourself. I answer questions for people in 5 minutes that it takes them a whole 6 months to a year to figure out. I've already been through it. I know the answer. I know. And by the way, on Wednesday, I have a segment where I'm helping you to figure out how to get your clients. There are clients in front of you that you're not paying attention to and you're not doing the right things. And then there are clients that you haven't even talked to because you don't know how to show up and you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say. We have to get the blueprint. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Now, another thing is something else that was spoken about tonight is getting in a community of people who are on the same path as you. You need some level of support. And guess what? You don't only need the support of the coach, the one who's the leader. You need the support of the community. If you guys are doing this thing and y'all all are on the same page and all you guys want is success, you need to lock arms with the other people who signed up. Let me tell you something. The other people that signed up in the program with you, they made a commitment. They put their dollars on the line. They got skin in the game just like you. You don't need to go talking to your friend that's on the side that's not willing to commit themselves to anything, that's not willing to put dollars on the line to get the answers that they need to get the fast track. Why are you talking to the friend who's over there not willing to do anything that they should be doing? Real entrepreneurs and real business people invest in themselves and they put themselves in the spaces where the answers are located. They put themselves in the spaces where the other people are. Not one, but most of the coaching programs that I have been in, there was a coach who gave me the support and gave me the answers I needed. But the other people, we locked arms. And we had our own private conversations and we rolled together. We did a lot of things together to push each other. You got to find that community. I have one. I definitely have one, and it's called UBG, Underground Biz Group. Just in case you guys don't know why it's called UBG. So I began to help entrepreneurs. I knew that when I stepped from behind my chair, I was not meant to just help the beauty professionals only. So I started helping entrepreneurs. And there was an entrepreneur that I started to support. And they said to me, because I said, I'm getting ready to create this group. And they said, you should name it something with underground. They said, because you know who you are? You're something like Harriet Tubman. You're like the person that like, how she was like always grabbing people and helping them and dragging them along to take them to where they needed to go. And she did it through the underground. And they say, you should call it underground. Just so you guys know, that's why it's called Underground Biz Group, because of that. And I am that person. So I'm no longer behind the chair, but I got you. I got all the strategies. Beauty professionals, I want to hear you. I want you to hear this for real. You guys don't understand your computer. You don't know technology like you should. Your social media is suffering because you don't know automations and you don't understand that there's a process that you need to use to get these things done. You're so stuck in the mindset that you're behind this chair and you're so busy that you can't do it. Well, what about creating a calendar for yourself to put those things on the schedule? What about learning how to do some of the things? And what about the rest of it? Freaking hire somebody. I don't do everything. I just don't. I know I make it look like I do everything and that everything is magical, but it's not. I knew when I needed to get support. I knew when I needed to get a little bit of additional help to get some things done. So let's connect. Listen, I got UBG. I'm going to stop talking because I don't even know how long I've been talking, but I love helping entrepreneurs to get to where you need to be. And sometimes you just need to hear these types of messages. No more imposter syndrome trying to be someone else. Just be you. Just decide who you want to be. If you've been doing something and that thing that you've been doing, it's time to let it go or time to shift and do something new, go with the person that can help you to shift. That's what I help you to do. Get the right answers, make your money, and live the life of your dreams, because I'm not in the cold anymore. I walk outside, y'all. I got shorts on right now if I stand up. I got on shorts, okay? I know it's about 40 degrees in some places. I got on shorts. Yeah. Okay, that's it, guys. Underground Biz Group is where I would like for you to join me. There's a link in my bio, and you can get in there and you can get the assistance that you need. There's a lot of things that are in there. I have a financial expert. We do social media. We read books. We do goal setting every week. And we have a business lesson for you. And I'm helping you with your technology. I don't know what else you need. There's a link in my bio to join UBG. Join me for free tomorrow morning by clicking Getting UBG Free and the link in my bio. That's it. I'm out of here. Robin, once again, you know, our stories are so similar. You know, I don't know if it's, I didn't want to be an activist for this whole thing, right? I still don't think I do. But I think I've heard this story about so many cosmetologists that have had their children lost to the street in many different ways. And I think that's a thing. It's
It is
a thing.
And God used me as a vessel to continue to help others. And even what I do in my car in the morning, I do it. It's called the Car Chronicles. I inspire just by giving a word of advice or things that happen to me. I just give it back to the people. And that little bit of encouragement, I do a little bit of everything. And it definitely, God is definitely using me as a vessel to help others. I see it. I do it every day. And I love what I do. And like you said, I'm happy now. I'm taking care of me and not everybody else, in that sense of in the same spot. I'm helping throughout the internet, throughout writing, throughout my products. So he's using me as the vessel for sure. I love hearing your story, so thank you for that. That's why I stayed on with the hear what I needed to hear, and I stayed on for a reason. So thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely, absolutely. So everyone watching, thank you guys for watching. We're going to close the marathon. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was saying, whoever me and you met, we met a couple of years ago when you came to Pittsburgh. We talked for a minute, but not for long. But I'm glad we got a chance to be connected.
When I came to Pittsburgh, was I at the event or did I come to your salon?
No, you came to the hair show, the event that B. Marshall gave downtown.
Oh, yes.
And we talked for a brief minute, but not long. I was busy, and so were you. We both busy. We talked for a brief minute. So.
Yes. Well, that's how it goes. You know, we all make these connections around the world, and then we all end up coming back together, and we just don't know how similar all of our lives are. And I was in Pittsburgh twice. The first time I was there, I put a post on Facebook, and I said, I want to promote my Extensions Expo. Who is willing to pick me up at the airport and drive me around your city and take me to the salons in your city? And there was a lady who responded to my post. I'd never met her a day in my life. And she responded and she picked me up at the airport and drove me to the salons in Pittsburgh. And
oh, wow. See, I didn't know you then. I probably met you after that when you came here for the hair show. Because we met, our booths were next to each other, sort of. But we talked. We didn't talk long. We talked for a second. And I started following you then. So.
Wow, look at that. Oh, wow. Well, listen, I'm excited. I'm so excited. So we will definitely stay connected. We should definitely talk offline outside of this.
For sure.
Do that. For sure. Okay. All right. Those of you who have been watching, thank you all for coming to the Masterclass Marathon. We'll catch you back here next week. Bye now. We'll catch you all next week. And everyone have a great night. See you the next time that we show up. Bye. And if you're joining me in UBG, click the link above to give me a follow, and then click the link in my bio to request to join UBG for free. And make sure that you check your email if you do click that link, because it's going to give you an email with your login details immediately. And there is a tab that you need to click on once you log in to be able to watch tomorrow morning session at 10 a.m., which is social media. And I'm also teaching you guys how to hire a virtual assistant or how to hire a social media manager. So you learn how to do something with your social media. You learn the actual method to use to operate on your social. And then we're going to teach you how to hire someone so you get both ends of the spectrum. All right. That's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you, Mimi, for speaking as well. And we're shutting the marathon down. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you, everyone. Good night.